I'm gonna make a zucchini tart, and I want it to look pretty because my husband is gonna take it to a potluck. So I'm gonna slice these really thin. I leave the skin on because then you can see the yellow and the green from the zucchini. And I'm going to kind of make them into a spiral and then put them in a pie tin. I'll show you everything. It's going to be completely plant-based and low in oils, so it will be healthy, but it also will be delicious. I will be using this typical Dutch device, which is a cheese slicer, but you can also use a mandolin, or you can even slice it by using just a knife. But I want really thin slices, and to make it a little bit easier, I'm gonna turn it around, lay it down on the flat side, and then we'll do the other side. I will be putting all the green zucchini on a plate to the side. And now I will slice the yellow zucchini in the same way. And now we're gonna clean 4 shallots and 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna cut the shallots, and I'm gonna cut them a little bit fine, but it doesn't have to be really precise because later on in this recipe we're gonna use the submersion blender to get a smooth paste. Same with the garlic. You need to prepare the springform. I always use a sheet of baking paper for the bottom, and then I spray the sides with a baking spray. So I'm using a little bit of oil here because otherwise it sticks to the pan. So we're going to use 200 grams of peas. And then you can use parsley, or I don't have any parsley, I'm going to use some spinach. And then we're using also some hummus, which you can make yourself, but I have some store-bought because I want this recipe to go fast and easy. I am going to saute those shallots, and I'll try not to use any oil because I want this recipe to be as much oil-free as it can get. When it starts to brown, I'm adding a little bit of water, just a splash. I'm also adding the garlic and just a pinch of thyme. I'm adding the garden peas, and I'm adding the spinach. And now I'm turning off the heat, and I'm adding 150 grams of soy yogurt. I'm adding 200 grams of hummus. This one has extra lemon in it, also lemon peel. If you like that flavor, you can of course use regular hummus and then add some lemon zest. I can highly recommend it, but today I chose for things to be easy, so I bought some hummus that already has lemon peel in it. I'm adding some freshly ground pepper and a pinch of garlic salt. You can of course transfer this to a food processor, but I'm gonna try to use the immersion blender. I am adding 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast for the flavor, but also to thicken it up a little bit. But you can also use some breadcrumbs if you cannot find any nutritional yeast. I'm gonna do 1 tablespoon of breadcrumbs, and then I'm gonna mix it up all together. For the crust, I'm going to use some vegan puff pastry. You could also, of course, make your own vegan low oil dough, but who has the time to do all these things? With a fork, I'm gonna prick some holes all over the bottom and the sides of the puff pastry. And in the meantime, I have preheated the oven at 200 degrees Celsius. I'm sprinkling a little bit of the nutritional yeast at the bottom here of the prepared pan. It's about 3 tablespoons. You can also use some breadcrumbs, of course. And now I'm spreading all of the mixture with the peas and the yogurt and the spinach in the bottom of this prepared pan. And I'm spreading it out evenly all over the bottom. I have my green and yellow zucchini ready, and now I'm gonna create circles with the zucchini like this. I'm just pressing it in a little bit. I'm starting with the green, and then I'll be doing a layer of yellow, and then I go on with the green again, just kind of pushing it down into the mixture. And don't worry about it being perfect circles, perfect alternations of yellow and green, having it fit perfectly into the mixture that is on the bottom. You don't need to worry about any of these things because it's going to turn out beautiful anyway. And now I put it in the preheated oven, and I am going to cover it because I don't want the top to burn before the rest is done. Just gonna put a baking sheet on it. It has been in the oven for 20 minutes, so I'm gonna take off the cover and just have a look. I'm just gonna adjust the oven a little bit, turn it down just a tiny bit, because it seemed like that it was browning enough. The pie has been in the oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. I'm gonna turn off the oven and have a look. And that's how it came out.